Well, today I'm going to start with something called as UI manipulation. Right? How we are going to manipulate the UI with different things. Now what I mean to say, you'll get to know that thing. Let me start this session with one puzzle. Right? So I have created one, what you can say, layout. See here, it is showing you the constraint layout. I'm not going to cover constraint layout over here, right? So let me remove the constraint layout and make it simple relative layout, right? Relative layout. So what are the constraint that you would be getting in another video? So see that thing in another video, right? And here I would be having one text view, and match parent and the wrap content. Let me provide some ID, at plus ID, text and number or counter, right? And you can do this thing, center in parent exactly in the center, true, right? And below that I would be needing one button, wrap content, right? ID, here you can say at plus ID btn, okay. And here I can assign some text at string, and here you can say btn, okay, and you can say okay, right? And it is below, right? It is below text at ID, and you can say text center. So it will look like something this, right? And you can call it as center in parent, true. So that will come exactly below this thing. So why I am not using constraint layout, that is something different. So I would be covering constraint layout later on, but let's focus on the concept that we are going to see now, because constraint layout is little bit new, right? It is little bit new. So you can say text size over here, text size, and at dimen, and you can say normal, right? Let me create say 30 sp. I would be having that font as 30 sp. So over here text would be as 30 sp, and you can make it wrap content, something like this. Now on the click of this button, right, on the click of this button, I want to start the increment over here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, likewise, right? So let me assign the click listener from here itself, or let me bind the click method, more precise term, right? On click, and you can say start counter, that would be my method, right? Start counter, and let me create that start counter method over here, right? So what you will suggest me is that just have a for loop, something like this, and int I is equals to 0, I is less than 100, and then I plus plus, right? And into the for loop just change the text of the text view, right? r.id.text center, and here you can typecast it to the text view, and then what you can do is that set text, right? Do not directly assign the I. Meaning of this line is something different. There are two overloaded version of the text set text method. So this is asking you for the resource ID string. If you want to pass this as string, either do string dot value of I, right? String dot value of this integer, which will convert it to the string, kind of, right? Fine. Now if I run this code, you will get to know what's happening. So I have already started the emulator, and let me run the code. You would be getting to know what exactly happening, right? What do you think, what would be happening? So when I say start counter, if I click on the button, right, so this for loop is going to get started, and see okay, directly 99, right? Directly 99. Then you might be saying that speed of this for loop is very fast, it is too fast, so you can have some delay in between this. Okay, so on the thread dot slip, you can say 500 milliseconds, right? Surround with the try catch. And remember that this might be the illusion of the web server call or some heavy logic. Suppose you have file of 70 MB, and from that 70 MB you are going to extract some data. You have file of 70 MB, and from that 70 MB you are extracting the data, and for that this much time is needed. Or you are going to the server is doing some heavy processing and giving you some response back, and for that this much time is needing. Illusion of that thing you can consider for this loop, right? Okay, now you have added the thread.slip, means total time from your mobile to the server and coming back to your mobile is this much thing, right? Now if I run the code, right, once again if I run the code, see what will happen. And if I say start, I'll do one more provision over here, right? Just this below, just below this button, I can have switch or switch compact wrap content, and the wrap content, right, you can give some ID or just like that only, but make it below, right, at btn OK, right? And here you can say center in parent true, something like this, and give some margin from the top. Margin top you can say 20 or 20 SP, 20 dp, don't do like this, right? Have it in the daemon file, daemon, and you can say little, and here you can say 25 dp, not the sp is for font, kind of. See, okay, now let me run the code and see what happens. If you see, this switch is working very properly, right? This switch is working. Now if I tap the OK, right, if I tap the OK, and now if I try to click on the switch is not working. Switch is not working, and you will be getting one ANR, application not responding. Why you are getting the ANR? Because of this line. This line is killing your application. Now what's happening over here? Every iteration, right, on the every iteration you are asking thread to slip, but to which thread, that is very important. You are asking which thread to go to slip. You are asking the thread who has created or who has built your UI, and that is nothing but the main thread. Main thread is responsible for creating your UI element, and you have written this logic, right, and you have written this thread.slip over the main thread, means you are asking main thread to go to slip, right? After that will working fine, right? So you are asking main thread to go to slip, and that is killing your application. Actually, you can never ask main thread to go to slip, right? So this should be handled or outsourced to some another thread. So you'll ask me one, so you'll say that write this into the another thread, right? Just create new thread and write this into the another thread, right? Okay, but concern is this, right? Concern is this, that if you write your heavy shipping logic on the main thread, right, you are going to get an error. Not an error, you means your application is not going to crash. Sometimes you get the error as well, that network on main thread. If you are doing some network related activities on like this without using any another thread, you get that exception, network on main thread, right? In this case you need to ship this logic to the another thread, right? Let us do that thing in the next tutorial, so keep watching.